On Two Wheels this week, Wayne travels to the Lake District to meet two riders who've just completed the most amazing journey on 50cc scooters. And later, we'll be showing you some of the things we do best, cocking things up with some Two Wheels outtakes. But first, I go to meet the owner of a very unique Yamaha R1. If you want to emulate your favourite racer these days, it's not that difficult. You can buy replica leathers and replica helmets. You can even buy replica machines. Things like Aprilia's RS250, a lively little two-stroke which looks like it's come straight from the racetrack. Or how about treating yourself to a bit of Italian exotica and buying a 996 Ducati, a Carl Fogarty replica. What then do you think might be the ultimate race replica? Well, how about buying a race bike itself and putting that on the road? Well, that's what Nick Haydash has done with his Yamaha R1, and I went to meet him to find out all about it.
Where do I start?
Exactly, where do we start? Well, how did you get it? Because it's not everyone that can go out and buy a race bike.
Well, I got to, I saw Dave Jeffries, I've spoken to him once or twice before, and nice guy, by the way, Dave.
He is, he's a top bloke, yeah.
Top man.
He watches this as well, so
Does
he's
he?
going to see his bike now.
Oh, I better watch what I say then.
Go on.
Basically, he said he was selling one of his race bikes, you know, I seen it, it was up at his father's shop, I think it's Alan Jeffries, in Bradford, and saw the thing there, you know, I thought that looks nice. And basically I thought, you know, it's a bit awkward being a race bike, I've got to do a few things to get it on the road, but yeah, I like the looks of it, I thought, got to have it.
That's the other thing, all right, so you see a race bike for sale, you go and buy it, okay, anyone could do that I suppose, but then you've got to put it on the road.
Yeah.
Right, so
obviously,
basic things first of all.
Basic things are lights, you need lights.
Yeah.
Well, to start off with it...
Look at your lights. What have you got here? What are they off? Where are they from?
I think it was a Mini Metro. No, actually, they're just, I think, is it Halford sell them or something like that?
They're just sort of aftermarket.
Aftermarket lights that
Yeah,
you can buy. They're not expensive. Just got to make holes in the fairing, put them in.
Indicators?
Indicators, I think.
Is it worth bothering with them?
They're little trick indicators for cars, I think. They just made a hole, shoved them in.
Do you have to have indicators?
I'm not sure.
Isn't it not that if you've got indicators, they've got to work, but if you don't have them...
I'm not well up on that, but I thought I might as well put them on, at least people can see.
Because I've been riding behind you and you can't see them.
You can't see them, so it was a waste of effort.
It was a waste of effort.
But they look good.
Did they? Yeah, well, I suppose so, yeah. All right, so we've got lights, we've got indicators. Let's try and do this in some sort of order.
That's your basic to get it, you know.
Move back, obviously a race bike wouldn't have a speedo.
No.
So it didn't have a speedo, so what have we got? Temp and revs.
We've got temp and revs, and I fitted, they're actually for a mountain bike then.
All right.
It's supposed to go up to 186 mile an hour.
And does it?
Well, I've never been that fast.
Give off.
And after 120 they start to go a bit funny. You've got a little pickup thing you put on your disc at the front, and you've got trip, things like that, mileage.
But it works.
Sorts. It works. It basically works. It's pretty accurate for 30 mile an hour.
Okay, right. So what else do we need to make it road legal? Well, you put mirrors on it, obviously.
Yes, I was going to put some standard R1 mirrors on, but
no, they look all right. What are them off? RS2000 disc?
Well, my mate said they look like they're off a very old Ferrari Testarossa.
Hey, you might not be far out there.
They are replacement mirrors for R1s.
Right. Before we talk about the trick bits of the bike, I want to talk about the legalities. So lights, speedo.
Oh, I don't think mirrors are. Is that legal?
That's not a legality, no. But I just noticed them while we were there. You see.
Legal lights, speedo.
Obviously, it had to be registered.
Registered, yeah.
Now there's a story with this.
Yes, because the bike is a '98 bike that Dave obviously set up for racing. Went round the TT, and then that was it. But bought the bike in the end of '99, so it could be registered, first registered in '99. You know, so that's actually ended up with that V-Reg plate.
So that's V8 MT2.
Well, you don't. That's not a normal plate, but
no, that's a plate you bought.
Yeah, it was available, so.
It cost a lot of money. How do you know what? Tell me.
I'm not allowed to say that.
A few quid, right? If I tell you about it, I'd have to kill you. Right. What does Jack Valentine
I actually got that
off
Dave's dad.
Yeah.
Tony sorted me that, which I do appreciate.
Because Jack Valentine, who everybody knows, is Mr. V&M.
Yes, right? He should have that.
He should have that. Has he seen it?
I don't think so, no.
No, he'd be sick now when he sees that. He'd be wishing he had that. Right, okay.
To twist my arm for it.
So now it's legal, right? But being a race bike, it would have had a few differences. Well, mechanically as much as structurally.
The main thing mechanically, I think, is the first thing was the radiator. Because there's no fan, this is a full race radiator.
Right.
You know, big aluminium thing, whatever. There's no fan, no thermostat.
Well, of course.
So if you get, there's no traffic jams around the Isle of Man, so if you get stuck in the traffic, whatever, going to Matlock or anywhere, it could overheat. So we fitted a fan Inside I had some alloy lugs welded. Just a bit of messing about, but basically put a thermostat in. Got the fan to work.
Okay.
Kit, so that's something, you know, most race bikes haven't got that.
People may have thought, that's a big petrol tank.
It's not a normal...
It's not a normal R1 petrol tank,
no.
that, is it?
From what Dave was telling me, I think it's 2 R1 tanks welded together. They cut one further up and one further down, just make it bigger.
There's a join there, isn't there?
There's a join there, yeah. If you look close, you can see the join.
It's a fantastic job,
It's 24 litres.
Right, because of course they would have needed that for racing, yeah?
Yeah, to save him having a spare tank in his pocket.
Exactly, yeah. What's these holes for, in seat?
They're just quick release clips so that you can get the seat off.
Is that all it is? Yeah.
Because there's no access to the back anyway. I mean, you've got to take the back unit off to...
Right.
I've fitted an alarm in there anyway, which is something you don't need for the road.
Okay, I did notice at the front,
yep.
Very, very fancy brakes. What are these, PFMs?
They're PFM brakes, yeah.
Right.
Pull floaters, they've got, you know, quite good pads in them.
Stands on its nose?
It throws you over the handlebars, yeah, if you grab an handful.
Yeah.
I think you can get better levers for it, but I think it makes it too strong anyway. You're better off with a standard lever because otherwise it's too much braking, you know.
What about suspension?
Suspension, Maxton did the front forks.
Oh, yeah.
So I think they've been reworked. It's a ProFlex rear shock.
ProFlex?
Yeah.
We know him, Wayne Lamb.
Yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So it's all
tricked up?
Yeah, you've got great suspension, that's the whole idea.
What about performance-wise? Is it dead fast?
Well, I didn't tell you much about it. The engine's been, it's a Tony Scott tuned motor.
Right.
So it's not actually a V&M job, but I think it's been blueprinted. Quite a bit of work gone into it. It's a very powerful engine. More sweet than anything, you know, the engine delivery right the way up is very smooth. Quite a lot of power. There's no weight because the wheels have been changed.
I'm just going to ask you about the wheels, because these are, everything's super light, isn't it?
Yeah, the magnesium Mavic wheels.
Right.
They're very lightweight, so which helps you turn.
Yeah.
It turns a lot quicker.
Let me ask you then, because you've had lots and lots of different bikes.
Yes.
I know you've had fancy Ducatis and fancy everything. You've had loads of fancy bikes, you've only got some of those.
Well, the worst bike I had?
Go on, tell me the worst bike you had.
A Bimotor V-Dewey.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I don't like slagging Bimotor because I do like them, you know, they're nice bikes, but it was V-Dewey 500 two-stroke.
Right.
And that was probably the worst bike I ever had, yeah. Because it was a great bike. If somebody would push you around, it was okay, but the engine just didn't run.
Just didn't want to go anywhere, right?
No.
But you've had loads of fancy bikes.
Yes.
I know you've had fancy 996, SPS Ducatis and all this, but all top spec stuff. Right, so you know whether a bike handles like it should. How does this handle? What's it like? What's it like compared to a standard R1?
Well, I think it's, I've ridden the standard R1, yeah. I mean, the work they do on the suspension, you know, pieces they change here and there, you know, and the setting up, it does make the bike handle superb.
That's the key.
It just turns a lot. Yeah, it is. I think suspension more. Engine, you can forget engine. I mean, that could be a 600 engine, but it just handles superb.
Right.
You know, it's obviously because they were doing the TT, it's probably better because they're setting it up for the road.
Yeah.
You know, road conditions.
Road race,
so you're going on the road
it?
anyway. You know, I don't know if how a different race bike could be, but.
Does this not make you now, when you're riding around on this, you go to Matlock and you go to Devil's Bridge, you go to all the biking meeting places, and I know you've done track days on it. Have you done a few track
Not on
days?
this one.
Have you not? No.
On other bikes,
right.
I haven't been on the track with this.
Okay. But when you're riding around on this now, they see you now in your leathers, you're all colour-coded.
Looking like a Wally?
No, you look like a racer coming down. I mean, does this make you a target for people to try and beat?
Absolutely.
Is it a pain, that?
Yeah, because you're always getting beat.
It's
embarrassing.
For 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, that's the trouble. You get something like that, everyone, well, not everybody, but a lot of people, I don't know if they're envious or whatever, they've got to attack you, haven't they? Because it does make you a target. But you've got to forget all that and do your own thing. Always do your own thing.
Always do your own thing, yeah. Survival of yourself first.
Never rise to the bait.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's beautiful, it really is smart. I mean, I don't want to ask you what you paid for it. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't insult you by doing that. But I mean, if somebody come along, how much would they have to tempt you with before they could take that away? What's it worth, a thing like this? It's a race bike. It's got history, though, you see.
Well, it is a bit of one. I mean, Dave signed the tank and he signed the back end there. I don't know. I mean, it's a bit of history, isn't it? I suppose.
I suppose it's the old thing. Whatever somebody wants to pay.
It is. I mean, if you want something like that, you just, you know, you'd have to roughly about 12,000, something like that. About that. Yeah.
It's dead impressive. It really is. But you know, what I'm going to ask you now.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you if you can have a go.
Absolutely not.
Go on, let's have a go.
Yeah,
I've got my gear over there. Right, here we go.
Well, I didn't spend very long aboard Nick's R1, but long enough to realise that it's very fast, it handles superb, and it stops like nothing, and I mean nothing that I've ever ridden before. It's a fantastic piece of kit. And still to come after the break, Wayne meets two riders who've made an amazing journey on mopeds, and we've a special announcement about next week's show.
Now, you know me and my scoots, I love them. I really do enjoy riding them, but whether I would like to go all the way around Great Britain on one, all in one stint that is, over a 2-week period, several thousand miles, I don't think so. But there's two lads from Lancaster that have indeed done that, Rob and Robin. And you know what they've done? They've decided to do it for charitable reasons, which I think is very admirable of them. And they've done them on these things, these little Aprilias. They're 50cc, fuel injected things, very, very high tech, but still only 50cc. We've met up with them here. I'm right by the side of Lake Windermere at Bowness, a lovely part of the world, and they're across the road in that there cafe having a brew and some lunch. So I'm going to join up with them and find out all about their trip. Right then, why is it then if you're going a round Great Britain trip, you're in the cafe? You should be out on the bikes.
We're going to have a break somewhere.
I'll give you that. I hope you're not going to spend a long time here now.
Well, our backsides are so.
I can understand that as well.
The only problem is where do we go through the Vaseline on?
And don't bring me into this. I don't want to get involved in this side of it. That's between you two.
Well,
that's why there's two of you then, is it?
First morning,
that's why.
First morning he got the Vaseline out, I started thinking, hang about a minute, I know him fairly well, but I play squash with him, you know.
Yeah.
Right, go right back to the beginning now then. What on earth possessed you to consider riding around Great Britain on two scooters?
Well, Robert had done one last year, Land's End to John O'Groats, on a Sim 50. And like I say, you know, we're both bright lads, we're both into our bikes, and we play squash together, so I said, look, this year, why don't we do it together, joint effort, shit or bust. Let's go right round Britain. So,
with a mind to raise a few quid for charities?
Yeah.
What charities are those?
I'm doing it for Beaumont College for severely disabled children at Lancaster and St John's Hospice, because I figured that with my lifestyle at the moment I'm probably going to end up in it, so if I raise a lot of money I figured I might get a window seat.
Right, is that the reason for it? About you?
And I'm doing it for Riverview Day Centre at Lancaster, and also the International Youth Games for disabled children at Lancaster.
All very deserving causes.
Yep,
so you got the charities sussed, you decided you're going to earn a few quid for them. Then the scoot, like, I mean, you know,
well, we
had
to pick something unusual.
Yeah.
What was first suggested was to ride down to Spain, but we needed something that people would just say, wow. Yeah. So we picked the British Isles and also something to go on rather than just a bog standard motorbike.
Well, and we thought, you know, if we did it on two pan-Europeans, everybody would turn around and say, so what?
Yeah,
exactly.
no big deal.
I can go halfway around the world on one of them, not a problem. So let's pick something really bizarre, and then it'll just bring attention to the cause and the ride we're going to have.
Right,
and that's the sort of thing that stood out last year. I actually went down with the Austin 7 Club, but when they saw a scooter there, you're doing what? You're going down to John O'Groats Land's End, and I did it in 22 hours, and people just couldn't believe it.
I bet. I won't believe it.
I mean, we both have big bikes. I've had motorbikes for 26 years. And everybody I know with a bike, when I've said what we're going to do and what we're going to go on, have just said that you're mental and probably it won't work.
And I think I can understand that, I'll be honest with you. I love my scoots. Everybody knows I enjoy my scoots, but I would never dream of going around the country on one. No. Which brings me to the next question, really. The ordeal of it. Was it as bad as you thought?
Technically, no.
No.
Because the bikes have just been unbelievable. They've blown me away. At the end of the second day, we pulled up in Cardiff, and the bikes had just been absolutely wrung out for like 9 or 10 hours. And I said to Robert, there's no way these things are going to hold together.
Of course they will.
You had faith?
I had faith that they would, but as time's rolled on.
And when somebody adds up how many hours you've been in the saddle and the amount of miles you've done, you know, thousands of miles.
We've already added it up, 119.
Right.
And we're not far from finishing, we're about an hour from home.
Yeah, this is the final leg to come, yeah.
That's it.
And then we would expect some major incidents or some close misses maybe. Has that happened?
Not really, no.
There was a close miss on the A39 coming down to Cornwall. If this chap in this car had come out and he was halfway out, he'd have cleared us both up.
The worst moment I had actually on the bike was on a dual carriageway somewhere down south. And the problem we had with the scooters, we'd be absolutely wrung out, flat out. People would start filtering in. Instead of just getting the toe down and going, not a problem, or slow down and coming behind us. I had a Scania Arctic, tanker on the back, new one, and he was just dead parallel with me, just looking at me. Well, I was wrung out, I couldn't do anything, and he's just looking at me, and he literally, he pulled in, I looked in my mirror, and I bet he wasn't 2 feet off the back of my bike.
Wow.
And he followed me for half a mile, and I mean, I was like, if it had seized up or anything, I was history. Monday this week, we left John O'Groats at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
Rode right across the top of Scotland, down through Ullapool, and is it Applecross?
Applecross we arrived at.
Applecross we arrived at about 8:30 that night. Weather was beautiful, scenery was fantastic.
Sure was.
The roads were twisty and we could actually ride the little mopeds. And I said to Robert, we just pulled up, we was having a pint of Guinness before we went to bed, and I said, that's the best biking day I've ever had in my life.
Well, it sounds like you've had a good time. You've got one little stretch to do, haven't you? Which
Yeah.
is nothing really compared to what you have done. So, I think you should get yourself out there, get your gear on, and I'll wave you bye-bye on your final leg of the journey. Cheers,
All
fellas.
right,
Thanks
Wayne.
very
Cheers.
much.
Thank you.
Well, that's the lads all geared up, ready to dash off now. The last bit of the journey, they've only got like an hour's worth, and they're going to have a welcome committee back home. You know, they could have raised something like 10,000 quid. I think that's very, very creditable. Well done, fellas. Enjoy the rest of your journey. All the best to you. Ta-ra.
Wayne, I hope you're going to buy me a birthday card next
Why
week.
would I buy you a birthday card?
Because I've got a big birthday to celebrate next week.
Your 50th.
Not quite, but there is a 50 in it. In fact, it's our birthday. Two Wheels' birthday. We're 250.
250? Jesse, does that mean you're buying me a card?
I
then?
might just buy you a little bottle of pop and a card, yes, yeah.
Oh,
250 shows up next week. 5 years worth of TV.
That is fairly impressive, that. We're having a party, presume?
We might do
Jelly,
that.
ice cream and all that.
We might that, but it gives us a chance to kind of show some of the most requested things. And what are the most requested
Well, I can
things?
tell you, mate, the things we do so well,
Mm.
that's the cock-ups.
Oh, we're good at them.
Oh, aye.
We
And
can
we've got
cock
a
up.
fair few in the can.
We've got lots. You've got more than most.
Leave it. There's no reason to
So,
get at me now,
we're
just
good.
because I'm small.
So lots of cock-ups and things that shouldn't really be seen next week. So you see all them next week, but we thought we'd just like whet your appetite this week. You see?
Oh, we're going to show some now.
Just one or two.
Can I
just-
press the button?
You can press the button, but don't touch the red one.
What, this red one here?
Don't touch that red. That
No,
one
touch
there.
me. No, I'm doing
No, no, touch that.
Bike racing. And Carl had his problems last year, didn't you? Or rather, we're talking this year's season, the 97 season. You've got locating pegs on the frame, there and there. So all you have to do is match the two together. With a bit of luck. So that's the front end, that's the back, and the front end's drop down. So it's just a matter of locating the seat on these two lugs. A little bit fiddly, but you do get used to it, honest. It's the front end, you must keep that one firmly located there, then get the back end over, a little bit of fiddling. That's all you do. And then you know when I just did that bore, and it went, I thought, oh yeah, there it is. Meanwhile, oh bollocks to me.
Comes complete with CE body armour. That's elbow, shoulder, back, he and nip. He. Oh, stop it!
And this fella who's a rep for him, Rod Brooke, I've known him for a long, long time, and he's a big chap, towers over me, makes me feel inferior. Rod, it's good to see you again. How's things?
Oh, fine, Wayne. How are you?
No, not bad at all. Tell me about the Richer suit then. It's new. I've never seen them do a one-piece before.
Yeah, it's new for Reacher for 1998. It comes complete with CE body armour. Oh my God!
This scooter thing, just tell me, where do you get together, you lads? Where do you all meet?
We all meet at the Allison Arms in Coppell, other than the Liverpool lads.
That's the Lancashire.
That's the Lancashire lads, yeah. The Liverpool Scooter Club, I forgot where they meet.
And the Liverpool Scooter Club meet in Liverpool.
In Liverpool, probably, more than likely.
So Harry, tell me where do you all get together? I mean, obviously you go for rides out on Sundays, but do you have a regular meet?
Yeah, we've got a regular meet every other Sunday at the Allison Arms in Coppell, that's the Lancashire Lions. Right. The Liverpool lot meet.
Means in the Derby in Queen's Street, yes. What do we do with the Queen? Just think of Queen Derby.
Queen Derby.
Right. Start again.
Can I just say the Liverpool lot first?
If you want.
Yeah.
No, he's going to start laughing now. So Harry, I mean, it's obvious that you come out for rides on a Sunday, you all get together for ride outs, but you have a regular meeting, do you? Where's that?
Yeah, the Liverpool lot meet at the Queen's, Derby Street. Liverpool.
Somebody write it down, you've got to dumb it down.
Oh, it's no good, without. So Harry, I mean, it's obvious you all get together on a Sunday, go for ride outs now, but you must have a regular meet. Where do you get together?
We all meet at the Allison Arms at Coppell every other Sunday.
That's the Lancashire lot?
That's the Lancashire Lions, yeah.
The Liverpool lot, do you remember where they meet?
Queen's Arms in Derby Street.
Well
Liverpool.
done. I didn't think
State on Thursdays.
I didn't think you'd remember that.
Here's the real owner, with a smirk on his face as well. This is Martin Bird, and behind me is Mick. Oh, you know what it's... And this bike in front of me is the Suzuki TL1000, but I'm sure you can recognise that. It's famous, but famous perhaps for all the wrong reasons at the moment. But we've come to Ron Maxton's... This is the TL1000 Williams. No, it's not. It's a... I'll probably say that because I did that with you, didn't I?
So just to keep the crowd entertained a little further, I'm going to do some impressions. Farmyard impressions. Wayne, get off that tractor!
Hey, yes you did.
I'm going to ask this officer here what's going on. Excuse me. Oh, it's you!
Hello Paul, how are you mate?
How come you've got a fancy jacket? I've got this thing.
Times are hard mate, I took a part-time job and I'm a traffic warden.
What, just for the night?
Just for the night, yeah. Just a couple of quid in, yeah. In fact, just give me that man, I just need a word with these lads over here.
Okay.
Excuse me, you can't be parking these bikes here, son. I say.